Last one, and we're kind of talking about this stuff here too, is with this data, right? Data, right? There's so many things that people talk about, and it's all coming down to what can you use it for? I know Dimitar loves this topic as well because it's always interesting to see what are you doing, how are you doing it, what can you do it for with the quality, accessibility, and compliance.
Yeah, and to have all these, you also need to develop and nurture talent. You can't go without the talent. And there are two roads here: internal talent, internal skills development, or external talent hire, or a hybrid approach. I'm personally a fan of hybrid, and I've seen a lot of customers that are really successful when they combine their internal strengths with external strengths. And yeah, as you said, you need to have to establish a robust data foundation. You need to have the governance. You need to have the infrastructure. This infrastructure needs to be scalable. It needs to be able to take on a potential huge workload from the additional tools that you will be developing. So in a sense, you can think of AI as just another big consumer of data, same as the dashboards. However, same as the dashboards, this data needs to be clean. This data needs to be available, up to date, curated, and all the other nice stuff. So in my thinking, I'm simplifying this in a way that, yeah, this is another big consumer of data. Do you have all the data sources available or not?
Exactly. And you're not alone, right? You don't have to look at each one of these task items and go, oh man, data quality. We have issues with quality and governance. How do we do this? You can say, look, there's companies out there that provide help and support, right? That can do this. There's integrators, there's partners. And again, I keep hammering this home as you're not alone. Use and expand this expertise because it's so much easier to bring someone in that has done this before and to help integrate this. And technology has advanced so much that a lot of these things become secondhand when you start using the latest and greatest technology. But also keep in mind, right? Cloud storage and computing, AI, it's compute heavy, right? So you have the scalability to it. Keep in mind the cost, right? The cloud isn't in the sky. It's physical data centers running and churning and burning and using electricity to figure out what you're doing. It's expensive. It can be expensive, right? So this goes back to the economy of it, but it helps you understand your AI and data strategy and what component you're going to, and understand you're not alone, right? A lot of these conferences I go to, a lot of people have issues with the cleaning, the validating, the enriching. We have all this data. What do we use? I think almost 90% of the data has been created in the last 2 years, and that's just going to be exponential, right? More and more data is collected. And do you need it all? What do you need to shut off? What do you need to use it for? What's the application? And then the compliance, right? Legal and regulatory, audit trailing. Where is the data coming from and how? Because there needs to be explainability to the process. And stuff like this becomes critical. And as we're going to see, is there's already legal regulations have already existed in terms of how AI can be used, right? It's already been kind of worked in with data. But now we're seeing more and more. Now there's going to be AI specific regulation that most of the time is going to be more reactive than proactive. And stuff like this is going to be hampering your business in the sense that you're now going to have to constantly monitor and evaluate that continuous improvement to evaluate what you're doing. How do you future proof that? How do you check off the boxes to say, look, we already have a good audit trail. Our data is clean. We have good quality. We have lineage attached to it. We have ability to catalog all our data, understand where it's coming from and how, and the application we'll use for it. We have everything we need and understand that it's scalable and it's usable today, right? It's a big aspect to it, right? But we can't ignore this. This is the part of the AI that is not the attractive part. It's the part that is the work, right? This is the part that requires a lot of work. And I don't want to undersell this at all when it comes to the data, but use this, right? When you're selling an AI strategy pitch, you have to also add the data component to it because without it, it's a non-starter. But it allows you as now for something and people in the data world and IT have been pounding for a while to say, look, we can now focus on this data. We can now get the materials and resources to do what we need to do to get to that actionable insight.